Okay, so there's a lot to cover tonight, and I don't want to keep everyone here all night. So what we're going to do is Joel is in his booth, which is right behind me here. Joel, wave your hand. There's Joel's hand. And he's on his computer there, and he's going to monitor the chat for questions and chat and everything with everybody. And if you all keep muted and put your questions in the chat, it's just easier that way because otherwise we just get lots of crosstalk and everything like that. I'm going to go through all my little sections of my little.
It's still breaking up
It's still breaking up.
a lot.
Okay, well, let me look at the microphone and see what's happening.
Rich, you sound pretty clear for me.
Okay, how is that for people? Is that better? Okay. Excuse me, sorry. Okay, so I'm going to go through all my little sections of my cruise school presentation, and then I'm going to stop every few minutes to check in with Joel on what questions we have in the chat. And at the end, I'll stop again and make sure that all the questions that came through have been covered. So, and we're going to be recording this now, and I checked to make sure it is actually recording this time. And the recording is posted probably tomorrow or the next day. Joel, you are letting people in from the waiting room, right? Okay, just making sure. Okay, so it's going to be so you guys can go back and you can check it out and everything after that, starting probably. I'll probably get it up tomorrow night. Now, I know some of you are brand new cruisers. Excuse me, I have a frog in my throat. And some of you have been on like 30 cruises, and some of you are somewhere in between. So I try to cover stuff that can be helpful for everyone while also making sure that our new cruisers have all the info that they need. Excuse me. I'm going to start with kind of the day of the cruise and what's going to happen the morning of the cruise. And then I'm going to talk about the ship and the conference and the logistics of the Yap app. And I'm going to circle back to some more overview cruise details at the end. And like I said, put those questions as we're going along in the comments in the chat. And if I don't cover them, I will make sure to circle back to them back at the end. First, we're going to get this little thing. Play from current slide. So first, I want to talk about a bit of the things that you should pack. We're going to talk about packing. When you're packing, you're going to have your carry-on bag, which is the bag you bring with you the day of the cruise on board. And then you're going to have bags that you check when you reach the port. So get me out of the way there. So in your carry-on bag, much like a carry-on bag when you're going on a plane, you want to make sure that you pack your important documents, like your travel documents, your passport, your ID, your birth certificate if you're traveling with a birth certificate, any medications that you have. And then something people don't think about, you want to pack in that carry-on bag anything you might want access to the first afternoon of the cruise. So like if you want to go swimming, your swimsuit, your suntan lotion, your water bottle, a book, some chargers. And then even you probably want to pack your outfit for that evening because our first party, I'm going to get to this in a little bit, starts at 5 o'clock Monday night. And bags usually get delivered to the rooms like between 4 and 5 o'clock. So to make your life a little easier, you might want to pack your outfit for Rainbow Regalia party for that night with you in your carry-on so you don't have to worry about waiting for your bag to get there. Now, also, of course, you don't want to pack in your checked baggage any jewelry or valuables or cash or electronics. You don't want to pack that stuff in a checked bag because if the bag goes missing, you want to keep those in your carry-on with you. Now, we don't have the same restrictions as on an airplane regarding size of carry-on and number of them. And we also don't have the same restrictions like on an airplane as far as carrying liquids and things and such in your carry-on. So if you want to carry on liquids and you want to carry on your if you want to carry on toiletry items and like hairspray and that sort of stuff, that's liquid. You are good to do that on the cruise ship. It is not the same as doing it on an airplane, as far as that's concerned. Now, next, I want to talk about checked luggage a little bit. For those of you that haven't been on a cruise before, when you arrive at the terminal, there's going to be porters right outside to take your checked bags. Those bags are going to be delivered to your stateroom, and everyone has luggage tags. Now, I'm going to walk you through how to find your luggage tags, and if you have trouble with it, you can always email me, and I can pull your luggage tag and email it to you.
Or just so you know, you weren't spotlighted. I've done it now.
Oh, okay. But I'm the one talking, so I should be okay as far as that's concerned. But you have everyone has these luggage tags that have your room number and everything on them and a little map on them for where to deliver things onto the ship. You want to print these out. You can print as many of them as you need as far as bags you're going to check on the cruise ship. They do not need to be in color, though it is helpful for them sorting the bags and such on board. You're going to write your name in them under the guest name and then fold them up and attach them to your bag. If you're coming with us on the bus from the Embassy Suites, I will have a stapler that morning to staple them to your bags. You can also get little tag carriers that bags, but you don't need to have those. You can just staple them to your bags. I do that a lot. Let me move slide for you guys. This, I want to talk through really quickly. This is how you get your checked bag tag through your Celebrity Cruises account. And I'm going to send an email with a little video how to do this to everybody as well. But you're going to go to your cruise planner account at celebritycruises.com/booked. And it's going to look something like this screen, and it's going to show our cruise, which is a 4-night Key West and Perfect Day cruise. It's going to say something like at this point 6 days to go because there's 5 or 6 days to go. And then you'll see where I've circled in yellow on the screen. It says view and print your documents. You're going to have to click where it says view and print your documents so that it shows then the next links, which are cruise documents and luggage tags. Luggage tags are what I'm talking about. That's what you're going to want to print as many copies of as you need for your bags. The cruise documents, you can open them up and save them and print them if you want. No one's ever going to look at them. No one's going to ask for them at the terminal. You do not need to bring them with you. You do not need to print them out. They're just reference information about the cruise, sort of ticket contract sort of stuff, and that and everything, all those terms and conditions in that. So you don't need to be too worried about that. Excuse me. Talking about packing, I want to go through a list of some things that surprise people that they can't bring on board. You cannot bring on board any electrical extension cords or power trees. Regardless of what the Amazon listing says, there is no such thing as a cruise approved power tree. If it splits one plug into multiple plugs, I'm talking regular outlet wall plugs, if it splits one of them into multiples, it is not allowed on board. On Amazon, you're going to see a whole bunch of listings that say cruise approved, can bring on the ships. This is the, it has a breaker, it has a this, it doesn't have a that. They're lying. It doesn't matter. They will take them away. They will take them out of your checked bags that they scan, and they will take them away at the terminal, and you'll get them back at the end of the cruise. There is no way for anyone to get anything on board that splits one outlet into more than one outlet. Now, that being said, what you can bring on board is a USB charger splitter. So you can bring something that takes, that gives you, you plug into the wall and 4 or 5 USB plugins, whether they're the larger USB-Bs or they're the smaller USB-Cs. Technically, the cruise line says that you should only be able to split it 3 times, but nobody has ever enforced that with me. I have one that does 6, and no one's ever said anything about it or taken it away from me. So I recommend those USB-B splitters, and I actually have one that if you want, I can email you. That's from Amazon next day as far as if you want to get that. That'll let you plug in your phones, your Kindles, your watches, your iPads, and everything, all with the limited number of plugs in the room. There are 2 regular plugs in the room. One thing I'm going to go over in a little bit is if you need plugs for medical equipment. But there are 2 regular plugs in the room. If you do need plugs for medical equipment, the ship will help you with that. You just have to let me know. But back to our list of things that might surprise you can't bring on board. You cannot bring any clothes irons or steamers on board. Anything that produces heat that way, they're afraid of fire or overloading the circuits. You cannot bring any aerial drones, and you cannot technically bring any alcoholic beverages, with one exception. Anyone of drinking age can bring one 750 milliliter bottle of wine with them in their carry-on bags, but you can't bring any hard liquor or any beer or more than that one 750 milliliter bottle of wine with you on board. When we get off in Key West and Coco Key, you can't bring them back on board at those ports. You can only bring that on board the first day. If you were to buy wine in Key West or buy liquor in Key West, they'll take it from you when you get back on the ship that afternoon, and then they will have it for you when you get off in Fort Lauderdale on the last day. Now, really quickly, the rest of the list of, I went too fast. That was really quickly. Really quickly, the rest of the list, because these are things that people should probably know better about. You can't bring any firearms or ammunition, sharp objects, including knives, and scissors that are longer than 3 inches. You can bring scissors that have a blade length less than 3 inches, but not scissors with a blade length longer than 3 inches. No illegal drugs or substances, no candles or incense, things that burn. You can't bring things that are like heavy duty lighters and that sort of thing, or heavy like blowtorch type lighters. You can bring a regular cigarette lighter with you in your cigarettes, but you cannot bring things that are more heavy duty as far as that's concerned. No coffee makers or hot plates or tea kettles. No baseball bats or hockey sticks or sports equipment that could be used as weapons, like cricket bats, bows, and arrows. No skateboards or surfboards. No martial arts gear. No self defense gear, including handcuffs. I'm sorry, I've crushed some people's dreams of. But no pepper spray and no nightsticks. No flammable liquids or explosives, including lighter fluid and fireworks. So that's like I said about those industrial type lighters. And no ham radios. Oops, I went again too far. No ham radios, no hookahs or hookah water pipes, no dangerous chemicals, including bleach and paint, and no potentially hazardous food or food that requires refrigeration. You can't bring fresh food on board, so no fresh meat or fruits or vegetables can go on board because it's a situation with immigration going into other countries. Now, I want to talk really quickly about the morning of the cruise. The morning of August 11th, next. Yeah.
Use the little. Why don't you put your bubbles?
Oh, because it was blocking. Let me do that. There we go. It was blocking things that were written on there, so I got rid of it. The morning of August 11th, there are three. We'll go. There are three ways that the members of our group are going to be arriving at the port, at Port Everglades in Fort Lauderdale. The first way is the bus from the Embassy Suites that Joel and I are arranging for. There are actually two buses, and we're going to meet in front of the Embassy Suites at 9:45 a.m. That's when the first bus is going to arrive. And when that bus fills up, then we'll start. The second bus will arrive about 25 minutes later, and we'll start filling that bus. So there, like I said, there's going to be two buses, and they'll depart as they're loaded. If you do miss the bus that morning, we're not going to be able to wait for you. So plan on being there on time in that 9:45, 10 o'clock time frame. If you show up at 11 o'clock, the bus will definitely be gone and we're not going to be able to wait for you. So you'll have to take an Uber to the port that afternoon because the bus charges for us once it's full. It is time to go and they charge more if we stay. Um, there are a few seats still available on the bus, really only a couple left. So sign up on the website tonight for that at rainbowreaderscruise.com. There's a link right at the top. I'm going to cut off the bus signups probably on Wednesday so that I can be sure of the numbers and be sure we have enough space on the bus. Last year we had extra luggage and had to send a car with extra luggage. So we just want to make sure that that doesn't happen again this year. The second way that people are going to be arriving at the port is if they have gotten a celebrity airport transfer and their flight is arriving that morning. Those of you who have that know that already. If your flight is arriving that morning and you need a transfer from celebrity to the airport, please reach out to me right away. We can add those onto your booking until about Thursday. But for those people that already have that, you're going to go to Terminal 1, 2, or 3 baggage claim area. There'll be a representative with a Celebrity Cruises sign or Celebrity Reflection sign. If you get in early morning, the bus doesn't start running until 10:30, so grab breakfast or whatnot and then look for that representative at 10:30. And then the bus is going to take you right to the terminal that morning. Like I said, if you need to sign up for that bus still, just reach out to me right away. Let me know. I believe it's $18.95 a person. They get you right to the cruise terminal for you. It's a convenient way if you're flying in that morning. The third way people will arrive is if they arrive via their own private car or taxi to Port Everglades. And for those people, you'll need to know that the Celebrity Reflection generally is docked at Terminal 25, which is the terminal that Celebrity and Royal Caribbean own for their celebrity ships. But there are signs at the port that say exactly where every ship is, just like when you get to an airport, there's digital signs that say this ship at this terminal. So you'll be able to get there really easily. You will need an ID to enter the port via car. I will tell a very quick funny story. Last year, Christopher Rice was one of our authors, and I received a phone call at about 1 o'clock from him, and he was at the gate, at the guard gate to the terminal, and his taxi driver did not have an ID. and they would not let them into the port terminal. So luckily, we were able to arrange for another taxi to come and pick them up and take them into the terminal. But they check the IDs of the drivers and sometimes the other people in the car. So make sure that you have an ID that's valid, a photo ID, when entering Port Everglades. For those of you that are parking at the port, the parking garage is right across the street from Terminal 25. It is $20 a day to park, and you pay for that on your way out. If you're going to be parking in the garage, I suggest you first pull up to Terminal 25 and drop your luggage and other passengers off there. The porters will take the luggage there, and then you can circle around. There's a U-turn right there, and you can get right to the parking garage to park your car. And for those of you that leave your bags with the porters at the terminal, it's customary to leave the porter a couple of dollars per bag as a tip for that. They get them to the ship and help get them on board to your room. Okay, this is the first question break. Joel, how are we doing?
We're doing good. Deadline for trip insurance.
Trip insurance still be purchased up until the day before. You just have to reach out to me about that. That's something I talk about a little bit later. But send me an email if you're still looking for trip insurance, and we'll get it set up for you.
Are there safe boxes in the room?
Rooms do have a safe. It's a digital safe with a 4-digit combo that you set. And I know from personal experience with my mother, who repeatedly messes up her combo on them, that if you do mistake the combo, the only person who can reset it is security. So the safes are very secure in the room. There's only one person on board who can reset them.
CPAP machines.
If you do have a CPAP machine and you need to bring that with you on board, reach out to me, shoot me an email. I will let special services know. They will arrange for a extension cord for you and a gallon of distilled water to be in your stateroom when you arrive. And they request that you bring the CPAP machine in your carry-on luggage, not your checked luggage, so that it doesn't flag any sort of security issue. But shoot me an email, send that to me tonight or tomorrow if you can, so that I can get that information to them. The list for CPAP machines goes to the ship on Friday.
Should we tag our carry-ons just in case?
You know, I do, just in case I get separated from it, I throw a tag on it, and that way I know it'll get to my room. So the tags are, they're just paper to print. So just print an extra tag and throw it on your pen.
The one thing I will say, though, is when we get off the bus, if you're taking the bus, there's going to be a gazillion bags in a cluster, and they're going to start loading those bags. So make sure you've got your carry-on with you if it's got a tag, because they might see the tag and just go, okay, it's going to go.
Don't listen to Joel. You
Okay.
can't bring your carry-on with you onto the bus. Everything goes underneath the bus.
Sorry. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. This is why I don't talk. This is why I don't talk.
Example of no logistics.
Don't ask me anything.
Ever go to Joel. The carry-ons will go under the bus with the other ones, and what will happen is when you get to the port, everyone will get off of the bus and grab your carry-on bags to take with you, and then you'll signify to the porters on the bus, this bag can go to be checked, sort of thing. That'll be that'll be the way that all works as far as that's concerned.
Vapes.
Vapes are allowed in the smoking areas, but not in the general areas on board. And the smoking areas, there's one on deck 5, and there is one on deck 5 midship. There is one on deck 14 out by the pool, and deck 15 out by the lawn club and the Sunset Bar.
The guest ticket booklet says we need printed express passes to board. How do we do that?
You don't need printed express passes to board. That's just because no one's updated it in 10 years. It's everything's on the app now. So you do not need to print it out. Your express pass in the app, when you checked in the Celebrity app, not the app. In the Celebrity app, there is a section when you checked in that has the express pass QR code. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but I suggest you screenshot that QR code or add it to your Apple or Android wallet so you can get at it easily, just in case there's a Wi-Fi issue. But if you can't get through the process to get that QR code, it's okay. They'll do it for you at the terminal. You do not need to print out your express pass.
Where do we get Reef Safe sunscreen?
That is not a question I can answer because I do not know the answer to it. But I believe that I believe you look at Amazon. If you look at Amazon, there's some, and there is in the Facebook group a thread about it. If you search Reef Safe sunscreen, there's a thread about that in the Facebook group.
Are we allowed 2 checked bags and 1 carry-on that will be with me? Haha! Tell them about our bags.
Oh yeah, you can check without a limit of check bags. You can check as many bags as you have. You just have to have them tagged. So that's not a problem at all. Joel and I, because of the conference, we have to bring about 10 bags. So, and also we ship 2 pallets of stuff on board. But yeah, no, there is no limit as far as that's concerned.
If we let you know about dietary restrictions, do we need to do anything else to let celebrity know?
Yes. If you have dietary restrictions or food allergies, what you need to do is each night in the dining room, you'll talk to your waiter and they'll get an assistant manager if you have allergies and such, and they'll talk you through the menu and what the options are. What they also do is they bring out the menu for the next night so that they can figure. You may have to ask them to do this, but to bring out the menu for the next night so that you can figure out what the options are for the next night and they can be prepared for it. If you're going to the Ocean View Cafe, to the buffet, there are managers all around. They're in either shirts with ties or sometimes suits with name tags, and you can talk to them and they can guide you through things. But Celebrity is really good about dietary restrictions and food allergies. A lot of things will be labeled already.
At the buffet as well.
And that's what I just meant.
Oh yeah. How many non-narrator cruisers are there?
How many cruisers are there that are not with our group?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know if they mean in our. I don't.
Our group is 176-ish people, and the ship has about the ability for about 2,500 passengers. So we're about just under a tenth of the ship is our group. But our group will be well known by the ship by the end.
Do they have nutritional facts for the menu items?
No, they don't have nutritional facts with menu items that I'm aware of. If you're looking at something, if you're looking for something like gluten-free or makeup of certain types of the meals on there, I know there are Facebook groups that are dedicated to that because I have seen them for some other people who had some dietary restrictions for that, but there is not published nutritional content now.
One thing I just wanted to add before you move on about about stuff you carry on. A tip from me is I always bring like a light layer or something like, anything, that water bottle, whatever, with me in my carry-on, so that when I go to the buffet, I can throw the layer or the carry-on on the table and mark it as mine. And then it's an easy way of sort of like staking your claim on a table when it's
Okay.
busy.
Throw over a chair is a good way to claim the table because there'll be a lot of people arriving at the same time, especially that first day because people are getting on board and going back to lunch. So it's not necessarily as spread out as it is on some of the other days when lunch is going on for 4 hours, sort of thing. So good, ready to go. Next question. And I'm sorry, guys, I'm talking fast because I know it's a lot of information. And I literally, like the first time I ever did this, it took a couple hours. And I don't want it to take a couple hours because you don't like me that much. So I don't like me that much. So I'm sorry if I'm talking fast, but I'm just trying to pretend you're listening to me on double speed. So, okay. Then we have arrived at the cruise terminal. Going through the terminal is very similar to going through the airport, but not as stressful or complicated at all as going through the airport. Please do remember that when we arrive there at the cruise terminal, the staff members are there to help us and be helpful, but they are also there for traffic control. So they're there to move thousands of people through as quickly as possible. So some people are like, they seem rude. They're not meaning to be rude. They're just meaning to be traffic cops. They're just meaning to direct you. Just remember that they are there to help us, but they are also there to move us along. When we enter the terminal, you're going to want this is where I'm going to get rid of me out of the way there again. This is what we're talking about as far as the Express Pass is concerned. This is what the Express Pass, one of the versions of it in the app, looks like. When you go into your check-in area and it says View Express Pass, this is what it looks like. You can take a screenshot of it, which I very much recommend so that you are sure to have it with you. It tells you what your stateroom number is, your deck number, your muster station, your reservation number, and all of that information. And then they have the barcode that they can scan to help you finish your check-in and get you back on the ship the first day of the cruise. This is all the same sort of information that's actually going to be your Sea Pass. If you can't see your Express Pass yet, it might be because it might be held up by the health questionnaire. Sometimes it's available before, sometimes it's not. The health questionnaire is going to be popping up in the app probably Sunday afternoon. It's usually about 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock the day before the cruise. And it says, please complete your mandatory health questionnaire. The health questionnaire is very simple. It is 2 questions. It basically asks you if you've been sick in the last week and if you are more than 23 or 24 weeks pregnant. Those are the only 2 questions. So you don't need to worry about having a long medical history to enter it in or anything like that. It's just simple questions, kind of like when you go to the doctor's office or something and they're just screening for if you've had the flu or something like that. After we, oh, that's me, wrong button. After we get through, we're going to go through a security checkpoint, metal detectors like at the airport, but like I said, not as rushed or stressful. You'll put your bags through the scanner and the metal detectors and that, and then we will enter the actual terminal area. The boarding agent is going to be after security, I believe. Yes, in Fort Lauderdale, after security. So the boarding agent is going to have an iPad, and they're going to help you finish your final check-in. They're going to scan your Express Pass. Like I said, a screenshot from the app is fine. And they're going to need the passports or the birth certificate and photo ID for each guest, depending on how you're traveling. And if you have a military rate or a resident rate, you should know if you do at this point. You've done that separately with me. You will need your military veteran ID or your discharge papers for the military rate. And if you have your resident rate, you will need your driver's license that shows your state of residence, even if you were using your passport. They'll check those just to make sure that the rate is right. Now, one quick sidebar. If you are traveling with your birth certificate and a photo ID, the birth certificate, the photo ID, and the reservation all have to be in the same name, first name and last name. If you have gotten married or changed your name from adoption or just a legal name change since birth, and your birth certificate does not match your photo ID, reach out to me immediately so we can figure out what to do about that, because it has to track through all 3 documents. There is other paperwork you can bring to take care of that in that situation, but your birth certificate, which is a original copy from the government, not a photocopy and not a hospital copy, your state issued photo ID, and your booking, the first name and last name all have to be the same. If you have a passport, it has to be valid for 6 months after the last day of the cruise, and your first name and your last name have to match. All this information was emailed out months ago, but I like to repeat it ad nauseum because it's better to catch it as soon as we can, and then it gives us a couple of more days to fix it if we have to fix anything on that. After the boarding agent has cleared you, they're going to direct you which way to go to the gangplank, and you will need your Express Pass just one last time for them to scan just before you get on the ship, but you'll be done with your passport and all other paperwork at that point. And at that point, you will walk up the gangplank and you are on board. And that is the end of the photograph part of this. Now you have to look at me. End of show. Go back to me. There we go. You are on board. And now what Joel always wants me to remind people is the first 5 minutes on board are a little crazy because everyone's getting on board at the same time. There are staff members everywhere directing you where to go, what to do, and the elevators are crowded with people in elevators. Don't worry. It calms down. It's okay. But that first 5 minutes a little crazy. One of the first things they're going to ask you to do is to do your muster station. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But one of the other first things that you're going to want to do is drop your bags at your room and go to your Sea Pass and grab your Sea Pass card. Celebrity lets us go to our rooms right away. Some cruise lines make people wait till 1 or 2 in the afternoon when everything's all set and the cleaning's all done. Celebrity gets the room 90% ready for us and then lets us go there while they're finishing up so we can drop our carry-on bags. If we want to change into a bathing suit or change our shirt or whatnot, can do that quickly and then go ahead back out of the room again until about 1 o'clock when the rooms are all ready. Your SeaPass card is going to be on the door of your room. Your SeaPass card is like a hotel key card sort of thing, but it is your key to the world on the cruise ship. On the cruise ship, your SeaPass card is the way you get on and off the ship. You want to bring your photo ID with you on and off the ship too, but you use it to scan yourself on and off the ship. You use it in the bars if you're ordering a drink with a drink package. You use it in the stores if you're buying something from the store, and it all charges back to your main room account, which you set up during check-in with a credit card, or you can add cash to on board. Cash isn't taken anywhere on board except for in the casino and if you're doing cash tips somewhere else. But everything is done with your SeaPass card, which will be an envelope on the door to your room when you arrive. Your SeaPass card should have your name on it. It'll have the last 3 digits of your room number. It doesn't have the floor for security reasons, so if you drop it, someone can't get into your room. And it says whether you have a classic beverage package or a premium beverage package. And I think if you have a casino tier, it says that on it. It also says where your muster station is, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. So after dropping up your bags in your room, you can head up to the 14th deck to the Ocean View Cafe for lunch at the buffet. And some people do have a concierge class if they're in a concierge classroom, or have priority access, which is a package you could have added onto it. They have lunch as an option in the main dining room as well. There we go. Okay, Joel, how are we doing on questions?
Do you have to pull out laptops, electronics, and security like the airport?
Nope, not like the airport. You just have to empty your pockets. So you go through a regular metal scanner like in the airport. You have to empty your pockets, and they have little bins for that. But as far as pulling stuff out of your bags, you do not have to pull anything out of your bags. Unless they flag your bag and say, "Can we see what's in it?"
Is there a spot our group is meeting while we wait for our rooms, not formally? I would say the coffee shop, and you'll see people at the buffet.
I think you'd see people at the buffet and probably at Cafe Al Bacchio, the coffee shop. And a good thing to do, I'm going to talk about this in a little bit, but in the Yap app, there's the group chat. So you can go into the Yap app and say, hey, anyone hanging out anywhere, anyone going to the pool, anyone going to the coffee shop and that. And if you're staying at the Embassy Suites the night before, you'll definitely see people on the bus in the morning, and you can chat with people about that. But the first thing on the schedule for getting together is the 5 o'clock Rainbow Regalia reception in the Sky Lounge.
Do people regularly get? And if so, how beforehand do you recommend? How long beforehand do you recommend they drop Dramamine?
The people that I know that take Dramamine take it just like an hour or so beforehand. There's another one. I know that Macy and Charlie know what it is and can put it in the chat maybe, but bromine, but I don't know if it has an R, does it have an R in it? A lot of people use that and have really good success with it. I cannot be on a small ferry or like a small fishing boat or most of the rides at Disney World, and I don't take anything, and I'm fine. So it's not like I can't ride in the back seat of a car. I can't read while I'm in a car or on the train or on the bus or anything like that, and I don't have to take anything on board. So one of the reasons why the Rainbow Readers Cruise is in the Caribbean is that it's generally relatively calm there. It's not one of the rougher parts of the ocean as far as that's concerned. So, but as far as recommendation of when to take it, I would say read the packaging, and the packaging's probably going to say what time to take it beforehand.
Are there ATMs on the cruise island?
I don't know about on the island. There are 2 on the boat. There's one down by guest services, and there's one in the casino. They do have a service charge, it's either $4 or $5, something like that, like an ATM at a gas station would. But on Coco Key, I do not know if there are ATMs there. But there'll be ATMs around in Key West, and we're in Florida in Key West, so those will be U.S. based ATMs. We're going to talk about shipboard gratuities in a couple of minutes, so I'll get to that. We'll put a pin on that.
Connie is asking, how do they know you are eating in the dining room? You just go at the right time?
Oh, lunch. Oh, for lunch.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Connie, can you clarify the question in the chat for Joel, and we'll come back to it? Because we're all meeting in the dining room at 6 o'clock for dinner.
Lunch. She means lunch.
Lunch the first day. If you have a concierge classroom or you have purchased priority access, and if you question if you have either of those things, just shoot me a message. Connie, shoot me an email and I'll look it up for you. But please, okay, then you have concierge class lunch that you can do in the dining room that day if you're in a concierge room.
Okay, we're good.
Okay, cool. So so then that afternoon's kind of free time. You can look in the Celebrity app. There'll be a schedule of what's going on in the Celebrity app, and usually at around 1:30, 2 o'clock, 2:30, there's a free ship tour that you can take if you want to. It's just like 20 minutes, a half hour, and the activities people take you around the ship, kind of show you around the ship. Some people like to do that. Some people want to hang out at the pool. Some people just want to grab a chair and read. You can do whatever you want that first afternoon. Our first conference event is at 5 o'clock that night in the Sky Lounge, where we have the Rainbow Regalia welcome reception. And that's where we want to dress up in our Rainbow Regalia. So like I said, you might want to bring that stuff with you in your carry-on bag because you might not get your check bag till 4 or 5 o'clock that night. So you can be ready for the party. You might want to carry that stuff in your carry-on bag. Do please come to the opening party at 5 o'clock. It's on deck 14 forward in the Sky Lounge. You're going to get your name tags there, and Joel's going to introduce all the authors and do a little speechy speech and explain some things. And it's really a fun time, and like we kind of get to take over the space in all of our rainbow outfits. Last year, some people were poking their heads in and saying, "We want to come here. This looks like fun." So do come in, come for that. 5 o'clock Monday night, Sky Lounge, deck 14 forward. You want to take the forward elevators to get there because deck 14 is open to the outside in the middle. So if you take the elevators midship, you're going to have to walk across the open deck to get there. And it might be a little windy at that point because we'll be going. So right after the party, dinner starts at 6 o'clock that night. We're going to go straight to the dinner from the party. So, you want to wear your party stuff, your dinner stuff to the party that night. Just going over the ship layout really quickly, there's kind of three main areas of the ship. There's the area that's the entertainment area, which is deck 3 to 5. That's where the main lobby is. The main dining room's on deck 3 for dinner Opus, where we're having dinner at 6 o'clock every night. In that 3 to 5 deck area, there's the martini bar, the lounges, the casino, conference rooms, the small theater, Celebrity Central, where we have our late night events, and then the big theater and the world-class bar and the coffee shop and gelato shop and Cellar Masters. That's all deck 3 to 5. Deck 6 to 12 is kind of the hotel area. It's where all the staterooms are. And on each deck, there's a little small area near the elevators. On one deck, it's the library. On one deck, it's a game room. On another deck, it's just the lounging rooms. Those are neat little nooks that are there near those midship elevators where you can kind of meet and hang out with people. And there might be some scavenger hunt clues in those areas for the scavenger hunt that we do on board. Once we get up to deck 14 and 15, those are called the resort decks. So that's where the pool is, the buffet's up there, the spa cafe, which is also included in our food package. Everything at the spa cafe except for the I'm having talking troubles. The fresh pressed juices and the fresh fruit smoothies are not included, but the food at the spa cafe is included. And also the Sky Lounge is up there on deck 14, the Sunset Bar, the Lawn Club, which is a grassy area in that. And the jogging tracks and lots of outdoor areas up on deck 14 and 15 in the resort deck areas. Back to dinner. So we're going to have our opening party and then we're all going to go to dinner. Dinner each night is together at 6 p.m. in the main dining room, which is called Opus, and we are on deck 3. We're set up with our own set of tables. For those of you that were there last year, we're going to be in the same area in the middle of the dining room at the big tables. I made sure that we got those tables again. It's a really good setup for us as far as sharing tables with everyone. And we can mix and mingle and sit with different people from the group each night. You're going to get a card in your room that says you're at Opus at 6 o'clock and you're at table number whatever. You can ignore that table number. We are sharing the tables and mixing around at each table. I will be there, Joel will be there, Brandon and Paul, our helpers will be there to help show everyone the tables each night and where they are, but they're the same tables each night. So after we've been there a night or two, we know where they are and everything. Your app is also going to say that dinner starts at 5:30, but we still have events going on every night at 5:30 between the panels and the opening night party. So the dining room lets us come at 6 for dinner. So the doors to the dining room open at 5:30, but our group really shows up at 6 o'clock, and then the doors close at 6:15. So if you do show up at dinner at 5:30, we might not be completely ready setting up the tables and everything like that, but plan to show up around 6 o'clock with everybody, and that'll be the best time for that, even though the app and the card in your room might say 5:30. The dining room doors generally close at 6:15 as far as letting people in. So if you're later than 6:15, you should be able to join, but if you show up at 6:45, you might be too late to grab dinner at the dining room, which is okay because we don't have to eat in the dining room each night. If you want, the buffet is open and each night for dinner, as is their sandwiches and such at the Cafe Al Bacchio. And there are specialty restaurants. I know some people have made reservations, some of the special restaurants too. One thing about dinner we all want to remember is that our group is big. We have 175 people, and the dining rooms on the ships are usually set up so that you're at the same table each night with the same waiter taking care of you, which kind of helps their system. But they let us do what they call round robin seating, which means we can sit anywhere in our group of 176 seats so that we can socialize with other people, so we can do our author tables, so that we can meet different people and not have to be worried about it throughout the week. But it means that it's a little bit harder for the servers. So they're working really hard to help us and to provide us with the service the best they can. But with a group our size, being patient sometimes helps immensely as far as that's concerned. They're working really hard and trying to help us, and we just need to remember that as we're having dinner. Now, the schedule for the conference has a lot of things on it between the panel. Yeah.
Um, I, I'll say this. I'll say this when I give my little speech to remind everybody that in terms of what Rich is saying about them accommodating us, it really helps them, and it also helps you get what you order in a timely fashion if you really aim to be there at 6. Because otherwise, what happens is they're having to come take an appetizer order from a table 7 times, or a drink order from the same table 7 times if people come in scattered. Because normally, right, you'd arrive all together at dinner at your party, but we're not that because we're all separate people coming together at one point. So if we can really try and be on time to dinner, then it helps them get the orders in and helps everything run streamlined so you're not waiting longer. It makes it all go a lot easier for them. Is that fair, Rich?
Oh yeah, totally. And we know Joel's on time for everything.
Joel is always late to dinner because A, he doesn't eat, and B, he has to get ready. He's high maintenance.
There's the statement of the year. So switching gears a little bit to talk about the conference part of everything. We talked a lot about the cruise part, talking about the conference part of it. Now the schedule for the conference is packed and has a lot of things on it between the panels, the social events, the meetups, the parties, arts and crafts and games, the late night events, time and excursions in Key West and Coco Key. And some people have reached out to me about dinner and how they're going to fit everything in. And, like I said, if you don't want to have dinner with the group because you don't get back in time for something, or you have an event planned or something shipboard and that, you don't have to have dinner with the group. It's okay. It's just a really nice time to all get together. But it is, you can eat in the buffet. You can please explore the specialty dining restaurants. They are an extra charge for the specialty dining restaurants on board, but the buffet is open every night and it's free. And they even have late night options for after we've finished with everything with our late night naughty narrator Mad Libs or board games, late night marathon and that sort of thing. They're serving food up until about 1 o'clock in the morning in the late night buffet. So Still on food just for a second. A lot of people ask me what restaurants are included and what is not included. So to clarify that, breakfast, lunch, and dinner are available at the Ocean View Cafe, which is on deck 14. Breakfast and lunch on the sea day and dinner are available at the main restaurant, which is Opus. That's on deck 3 and 4. Now, you can look at the schedule in the app as far as what's open on different days. There's a restaurant section and it'll tell you the days. Lunch might be available in Opus on the port days as well, but it all isn't necessarily always. So look in the app and see if it is, if you want to have lunch at Opus. Burgers, dogs, and pool food they're available up by the pool at the Mast Grill. And if you want something like a healthy snack or a wrap, those sorts of things are available at the Spa Cafe on deck 14. And like I said, the smoothies and the fresh pressed juices are not included in the classic beverage package at the Spa Cafe. Now, one thing that a lot of people didn't know that I want to point out is every morning continental breakfast, well, not Thursday, not Friday, not the day we get off the ship, but the other mornings, continental breakfast is available for room service with no extra charge. So there should be a room service menu in your room, and if there's not, ask your stateroom attendant for one. And one side of it says complimentary continental breakfast, and then the other side says hot breakfast. They'll be charged for the hot breakfast, but the continental breakfast, you can order all of that stuff to be delivered to your room. You can order coffee and bagels and muffins and that sort of stuff to be delivered to your room complimentary. That set a time that it's going to arrive in the morning if you don't want to go to the buffet or the dining room for breakfast. That's just something that a lot of people don't realize, but it's a really nice tip as far as when you're getting up and getting going in the morning. A lot of people ask about the drinks package. Most 99% of the bookings are with the group discount and include the classic beverage package, which includes all drinks up to $12 per drink now. They've just raised it from $10 to $12 earlier this year, except for those smoothies and the fresh pressed juices that I talked about at the Spa Cafe. If you do order a drink that's over $12, they're just going to charge you the difference for the drink, and they'll let you know that they're charging you the difference. They're never going to try to confuse you. And if you order something that's over that $12, they'll let you know, not part of the package, I'm going to have to charge you. If it's $14, they'll charge you $2. If it's $15, they'll charge you $3. But they'll let you know. They're not going to try to confuse you. If you're not in the group booking and you don't have the drink package, then the drinks are not included. And if you question that, please shoot me an email and I will let you know. There's not a problem at all. If you upgraded your drinks package to the premium package, it's going to show on your CPass card. And you should be able to see in your cruise planner at celebritycruises.com/booked under your previous orders that you've done that. If you question if you've done that or not and want to do that, message me after the meeting and I'll help you check that. It's not a problem at all. Now, gratuities. Last year, the gratuities were included with the group, but Celebrity stopped that program at the for any bookings made after December 31st, 2023. So last year we had them included because we had booked before that, everybody, but this year nobody booked this cruise before December 31st, 2023. We all booked after last August, which was August 2024. So the shipboard gratuities are not included this year. You are able to prepay the gratuities, and a lot of people have already. If you want to do that, please just reach out to me by email and I'll get that all set up and taken care of for you. We have until Thursday this week to do that. The ship list goes to them on Friday, and after that we can't make any changes. And if you don't prepay the gratuities, they're going to charge them to your room account on board, and they charge them, depending on your room type, about $17 to $19 a day per person. So if you're in an inside room, it'll be $17 a day, all the way up to, if you're in a veranda or an aqua class or a suite room, it'll be around $19, $20 a day. They'll charge those to your room account. You'll be able to see that charge in your app, and then they'll get charged to the credit card that you put on file. Now, completely optionally, you can feel free to give any additional tips to those who make your cruise experience really great. So I will tip our stateroom attendant usually at the end of the cruise, because they're the one I have the most contact with, and they're coming in and cleaning the room a couple of times a day. And I usually, if there's a bartender or waiter or not who has been great, I'll tip them. And when the waiters are the same waiters throughout, I usually tip them at the end of the cruise. What? Okay, we can stop and take questions. We've already talked about dinner.
I know, but you didn't let me talk about it. So I want to do my thing. So my thing, really quick, is at dinner. If you don't know this about cruise ships, you can order as many versions of things. You can order as many entrees, as many appetizers, and as many whatever as you want. I always think of it as my insurance policy. So if I'm like, maybe I'll try this, but if I don't like it, I'll have this. You know what I mean? So like, don't. And here's the thing. And people always are like, oh, I don't want to do it. I don't want to waste food. I feel bad. Let's say spaghetti is on the menu. They have to make enough spaghetti. Spaghetti bolognese is on the menu. What?
What are you talking about? You're now giving an example that I've never heard, that I'm terrified of what's going to come.
No. What? No, you've heard me say this. That what you need to remember is they need to have enough that every person potentially who comes to dinner could order spaghetti bolognese. So they have that food. They are not making the food for dinner like from scratch when you order it like a normal restaurant. So it's there. So if you want to try it, order it. That was my thing. Why are you making a face?
I just have on my bingo card, Joel justifies food waste during the
No. It's okay. Do we have premium Wi-Fi?
I'm just about to talk about Wi-Fi.
Okay, great. This is an important one to address. If I remember right, the dress code in the dining room is a little relaxed the first night, like men can wear shorts.
I'm going to talk about the dress code.
Great. Okay. Will there be a photographer this year?
There will not be a photographer, not be a dedicated photographer this year. So please feel free. Sean was not able to come with us this year because he had a conflict. So please feel free to take as many photos as everybody likes. I'm going to try to take photos. Paul and Brandon are going to try to take photos and share them with each other in the app.
Um, Author dinner tables, how do we know when to sit where?
For author dinner tables, I don't know if I do talk about this, so I'll talk about it now. For author dinner tables, it's the same setup as last year. You'll find out about author dinner tables either the day before we get on board or once we get on board in your email. And each night, when you arrive, Paul, Brandon, and I will direct you to the tables. The tables are marked with colored reserved signs of different colors. So, excuse me, we'll know which author is at which table, and you just have to know which author you're supposed to be sitting with each night.
Um, this one confuses me slightly, but will there be something that explains the ship map? There are some stateroom numbers on it, but not all. Is there a way to tell if there a way to tell if it is the type of room we booked, like no window, ocean view, or balcony? I'm assuming they're asking if they can tell if other people's rooms are that versus their own room by looking at the map.
Um, I don't know. I mean, there are ship maps that you can look at that, but if you don't know what type of room your room is, shoot me an email and I'll let you know. But everyone is in the type of room they booked unless they did an upgrade. There was nobody had a guaranteed room that the ship chose the room for you because I don't do that unless it's an extenuating circumstance. So everyone is in the type of room that they booked. And if you don't know which type of room your room is, well, I mean, there's an easy way to figure it out. If you're on deck 2 or 3, you either have an inside room or an ocean view room. If you're on deck 6 and higher, you either have an inside room if you know you've booked an inside room, or more than likely have a balcony room because there are very few ocean view window rooms on those decks. But if you have a question about what type of room you have, just shoot me an email and I can let you know. And if you have a question about the layout of the room or anything like that, again, shoot me an email. I have virtual tours of all of the rooms that you can like click around and see the room and that and everything. I can just send that to you. That's really
Are
easy.
are protein shakes considered fresh food, or do I pack them in a bag for breakfast?
Not considered fresh food. You can't bring milk for them, but like the powder is not considered a fresh food now.
How much do you tip the stateroom attendant?
I tip the stateroom attendant if they've done, I generally do about $5 per day per person
We are
is
good
what
to go.
um, and if they've been great, I do more. Okay, so moving on to Wi-Fi. Again, for those of you with the group packages, we all have the basic Wi-Fi included. So the basic Wi-Fi is the Wi-Fi that was included with the group package, which is the basic Wi-Fi works great for emails, text messaging, over messaging apps. You know, if you're actually text messaging when we're at sea, you're probably going to get charged by your cell phone carrier. But messaging on Facebook, messaging apps and stuff, browsing the web and that sort of thing, that's all great for the basic Wi-Fi. If you're looking to do heavy downloading, uploading pictures, or possibly streaming, it sometimes works. You're going to want to upgrade to the premium Wi-Fi for that. But if you're not doing that sort of stuff, you don't need to worry about it. I really am half and half. Sometimes I have basic Wi-Fi, sometimes I have premium Wi-Fi. I tend to get the premium Wi-Fi if I know I'm going to have to do a lot of work, because all of my work is on the web. So that's when I do it. But if I'm not going to have to do a lot of work, I don't necessarily get the premium Wi-Fi, and it's generally fine. Wi-Fi in general, the thing to remember is that it is satellite Wi-Fi, and sometimes it's iffy, and just because it's just iffy, regardless of whether you have the basic or the premium Wi-Fi, sometimes that's an issue. When you everybody has that one device included with that got the group rate. You can switch between your devices if you like. So if you want to be on your phone or your laptop, you are able to do that. There is a little trick to it, so I recommend that you ask a staff member about it, because it is sometimes different as to the actual process of switching between devices. But you are able to do it. Just ask a staff member for their help. The Wi-Fi is accessed through the Celebrity app when you get on board. So you just would click on Wi-Fi and then follow through, and it'll set you up in your app. Wi-Fi is really the thing, like they are used to helping people. So you can ask the staff the first day about that, because it's confusing for everybody getting that Wi-Fi set up at the first time. There's definitely people on board near guest services on deck 3 to help with that. And there'll also be people in the internet cafe, they call it, I think, area, which is near the, I want to say that's deck 5, near the art gallery. But like I said, any staff member is going to be able to help you with that. And if you want to upgrade to that premium Wi-Fi, you do that through your cruise planner at celebritycruises/booked, or you can shoot me an email and I can help you do that. And again, we have till about Thursday to do that before they send that to the ship. As far as messaging on board is concerned, when you do log into the Celebrity Wi-Fi, it's best to go on airplane mode to make the app work the best, and the messaging, sorry, the app and the Wi-Fi work the best. Um, Messaging, you're going to want to use Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp or the Celebrity messaging system when on board. Although I will say the Celebrity messaging system in the app, Joel and I find it not great. We don't use it. It only links you automatically to people in your stateroom, and it's a bit of a process to link other people to it. So we stick with Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp, or if you're a family of iPhones, you can use iMessage on the internet when you're in airplane mode, as far as that's concerned. We're going to send everyone my number. You should have it in pretty much 90% of the emails you've ever gotten from me. My number's there. I'll tell you right now, it's 260-224-3248, but I'll be sending that to you all too. You can WhatsApp me at that number. But if you haven't yet and you are on Facebook, please friend me on Facebook so that we can message each other with Facebook Messenger as well. And please do know that Joel and I are not going to be replying to messages sent to through the Celebrity app. If you do send us a message through the Celebrity app, we will not see it. We won't get it. So Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp is the way to get us once we're on board. A lot of people ask questions about cell phone use. We are going international. Coco Key is in the Bahamas. Key West is in Florida. You should be on your domestic plan. We're in Key West, but when we're at sea, we're still international. So you will be charged roaming if you use your cell phone when you're at sea or when we're at Coco Key. Most cell phone providers have an international plan by the day. So what you want to do is just Google your cell phone provider and see if they have a cruising plan or an international plan you can add on if you're concerned to that. If you're not concerned with it, that's fine. If you have a smartphone that does Wi-Fi calling, you'll be able to use the Wi-Fi calling with the internet on board as well. A lot of people will do that. But if you do want to get a plan, an international plan, check with your carrier about that. It's different for each type of carrier. I already said it's so good to turn your, it's good. I'm looking at my notes and I'm repeating myself. It's always best to turn your phone to airplane mode. And remember, we are international, so they will charge international fees for that. The question I get the most from brand new cruisers is, how are they going to try to trick money out of me? How are they trying to screw me? Nobody is trying to trick money out of you, and nobody is trying to screw you. I swear. Um, you don't need to worry about that. If you have a question about if something costs extra, just ask. Most things are included that we're going to use on a day-to-day basis, like our meals in the dining room and the buffet and the pool deck and all that. Those are all included. Most of us have the beverage package where a lot of the beverages are included. Most of us have the Wi-Fi package where a lot of that's included. If you go to the spa, that's going to be a charge. You're going to get charged for that. So you're going to want to ask about those sorts of things. If you do an excursion, there's a charge for that. But in general, you don't need to worry about accidentally spending money that you weren't meant to spend. I think people hear horror stories of people saying, "Oh, I got drinks and they cost $7,000." Well, it's not real. Like you will know if you're spending money at any time, and if you feel pressured to spend money that you don't want to spend, just say no. I mean, just a firm, polite no. Keep in mind, it is sometimes their jobs to recommend to you the specialty restaurants or on the first day to upgrade your drink package and stuff. And you just have to say no, thank you, and they'll move along. That's okay. You don't need to worry about them tricking you into buying anything. And like I said earlier, if you order a drink that isn't covered by a package, they're going to tell you. So that's not a problem at all either. And if you're in doubt, just ask. Don't be afraid to ask. If you're going to gamble in the casino, and I know last year we had quite a few people who did, it's a lot of fun. It's a great time. You know, you can do that. But if you're going to gamble in the casino, do try to bring cash with you. They give you the option to charge to your stateroom on the stateroom account at the casino, but they charge a finance charge for it. So if you want to try playing cards or playing any of the tables or even the slot machines and stuff, bring cash and put it on your account, and then that way you don't get charged that finance charge for that. There are shops on board the ship. Most of the shops on board are more souvenir or high-end shops, like jewelry shops, purse shops, clothing shops, sort of thing. There is one shop that kind of has toiletries and candy bars and drinks and that sort of thing. But none of those shops are going to be open until we're at sea. So some people sometimes are like, oh, I'll just buy stuff when I get there as far as toiletries are concerned. You don't want to do that because it's expensive and because they're not open until we're at sea. I forgot my toothpaste once and I paid twice, if not three, as much for a small tube of toothpaste as I would have at home. So unless you forgot something, you know, you don't want to just plan on buying it all on board. And like I said, those shops aren't going to open until we're at sea because they can't be open in port because of tax rules. Moving on. Bringing beverages on board. I said earlier you can bring one 750 milliliter bottle of wine per passenger of legal drinking age when we embark in Fort Lauderdale. You are also allowed to bring with you any non-alcoholic beverages in bottles in your carry-on on embarkation day. You cannot check them in your checked baggage, but you can carry them with you in your carry-on. You'll see some people bringing cases of soda as a carry-on, and that's okay on embarkation day. I know some people have concerns like they need certain sports drinks or they only drink a certain type of soda. It is a Coca-Cola ship, so we're talking Diet Coke, regular Coke, and that sort and Coke beverages, not Pepsi beverages. So if you want to bring some with you, you can bring it with you. You just have to be able to have it in your carry-on. That does not count for the second day in Key West or on Coco Cay. You can't bring things back on board on those days. It's just on the first day. Do we have questions, Joel?
Where in the celebrity website will I find if I've added the premium drink package?
You'll go to your celebrity cruise planner at celebritycruises.com/booked. And then you'll see in the top right-hand corner a little gray circle. It might have your initials in it. It might not. I mean, once you've signed in, celebritycruises.com/booked, and then sign in. You'll see in the top right-hand corner a gray circle that might have your initials, it might not, but you click in that area and it opens up a menu and it will say order history. You can click on that and it'll show in your order history. If you can't figure it out or you can't determine, send me an email. It takes me 2.5 seconds to look that up for you. It's totally fine. I can look it up really easily. Anything else? Nope. Okay, going good then. Okay, going ashore. If you're going to go ashore in Key West or Coco Cay, I totally recommend it. Bring a day bag for what you want to bring with you, just like if you were taking another daily outing. You know, you want to have your Reef Safe sunscreen, your water bottle. You can grab water bottles on board if you have that classic beverage package. You want a hat and sunglasses sort of thing. It is the Caribbean in August, so it's warm and the sun is brutal. You do definitely want to get some sunscreen to wear. Make sure that your shoes are appropriate for whatever excursions you're going to do. If you're hiking or exploring, flip-flops are going to cause blisters. You don't want that sort of thing to deal with. Any port you go to, you want to be careful in port just because it's a place that's new to you. One of the reasons we choose this itinerary is that both Key West and Coco Key are really safe places. We don't need to worry so much about it, but you just want to always be aware of your surroundings regardless of where you are. Like I said, we're not going to places where you have to worry too much about getting off the beaten path or crime or anything like that. And Coco Key is a private island. The only people that will be there are the people that are coming off of our ship and the other ship that's there that day. If you're an umbrella person, you want to pack one with you. Some rooms come with an umbrella if you're in a suite or concierge class, but the other rooms do not come with an umbrella, so you might want to bring one with you if you're worried about that. We don't know what the weather's going to be. Usually it's pretty good, but sometimes, it is Florida, so we do get the afternoon storm occasionally. If you're taking a celebrity excursion, there's going to be reps right outside the ship to direct you where you need to go. If you're taking one of the excursions that's a meetup with an author, I will be right outside the ship in Key West to tell you where to go and how to meet up for that. If any author excursions that are on the author excursion still need a meeting time, I think there might be one or two there. It's going to be updated in the app for you. So, for example, we have J.L. Simmons and Jenna are going to be going. Oh, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. Are going to be going to the Judy Blume bookstore, and that's an author-hosted excursion. Joel and Mo are going to be going to the Butterfly Conservatory. Alex Eberhardt is going to be going to the fort in Key West. So those are things that are not ship excursions and don't have any info. The ship doesn't know anything about them. We're meeting out. Those will be meeting out on the pier in Key West, and the meeting times will be listed on that list of excursions on the rainbowreaders.com website and then in the Yap app as well. The excursions are still available to book probably through Thursday. All of the links for them and all of the authors' excursions are listed on rainbowreaderscruise.com. In the top area, there's a button for author excursions. You can click on that. It lists all of them that are happening, and it has links to go through, right to click through them. Now, for those of you that are new, these are not private tours necessarily. They're excursions that might have other people on them, but they're a great way for us to just kind of hang out and plan on doing things together with the authors and with other readers. Casual time to hang out with each other in the wild, basically. The daily schedule is posted in the Yap app. Everyone should have that now. By now, you've gotten a couple emails with links to it. If you haven't downloaded it, there's a link on the website, rainbowreaderscruise.com, in the top there to download the Yap app. The schedule's there. There's a section that's on featured events as well. And there'll be schedule updates there, and also there'll be push notifications about things that are going on. So make sure you turn on your push notifications so that you get those. The only two things, as far as the theme nights are concerned, the only two that are not scheduled yet are the White Party and the Dress Your Best Party. And that's because those are both also running alongside events with the cruise line running that evening. And we're just not sure which events on Tuesday night and which events on Wednesday night. So the first night is the Rainbow Regalia Party, everyone dressed in rainbows. Then the second and third night will be the White Party and Dress Your Best. And the last night is the Pirates and Petticoats Party. Now, going back, I know I address it later, but going back to the question about shorts in the dining room, we can't wear shorts in the dining room. On the first night, they are not as stringent about it because they know that not everybody's luggage has arrived. But if you know, which you do now because I'm telling you, you know that you're not supposed to wear shorts in the dining room, please don't wear shorts in the dining room. Last year I got in trouble for it. And it's easy.
You weren't wearing shorts. They taught you about.
No, I got in trouble for people where I got in trouble because people in the group that I was running were wearing shorts in the dining room. So please respect the dress code as far as that's concerned. They let us do our themes. They think it's fun and it's great and everything, but it is kind of sort of supposed to be a nicer atmosphere as far as that's concerned. So they ask that we draw the line at shorts in the dining room and tank tops on men in the dining room, basically. Like there's just not pool wear in the main dining room in the evening. During breakfast and lunch, it's okay. You can wear shorts and tank tops in the dining room for that. But in the evening, please no shorts in the dining room. We just talked a little bit about the theme nights. Remember, and again, just to reiterate, you probably want to bring your first night clothes with you in your carry-on bag in case your bags don't get it to you in time before our opening party, Rainbow Regalia party, which is at 5 o'clock Monday night, Sky Lounge, Deck 14 Forward Elevators. And there's a lot of other conference events going on every day. Tuesday and Wednesday, we have our panels in the afternoon. There's craft sessions after dinner and author meetups every night after dinner starting at 7:30 in different bars. All of that's in the Yap app. Please check it out, and please join all of your friends and readers for authors and readers for that. And then, like I said, the excursions are all listed on the rainbowreaders.com website. Now, another nice thing about the Yap app that people used last year, which is really great, is the group chat in it. There's not a way in the Yap app, which is the Rainbow Readers app. When I say the Yap app, I mean the Rainbow Readers app that has all of our information, not the Celebrity app. There's not a way to chat privately in the group in the Yap app, but there's the group chat where people post what they're doing, or does anyone want to meet up for this, or pictures and stuff like that. And it's really great. It's nice as far as that's concerned. The other thing for events is the late night Celebrity Central events. And I think if you ask anyone that came to them last year, they are a blast. They are later in the evening at 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock, depending on the night. So I know some people go to bed earlier than that, but I encourage you to stay up the extra couple hours and come to those. We have narrator Mad Libs. We have the crazy, the queer, what did we call?
Crazy Quest, Great Big Queer
The-
Crazy.
We're gonna say it's called the Great Big Queer Crazy Quest right now. It might not be called that in the app, but this is a great fun game show that's new this year. That's based on books and the authors and everything. We have the match game making a return again with a whole new panel of authors, and then of course we have the drag show the last night, where you want to make sure and bring your dollar bills for tips for our drag queens that night, because we are raising money this year for the Ali Forney Center for Homeless LGBT Youth in New York City. Last year, we were able to raise over $2,000 for the Trevor Project and send that to them at the end of the cruise, raised from the Rainbow Readers Cruise Readers. So it's a great fun event, and all of the tips to the queens get donated to charity. For the signing for the conference, our signing's done a little bit different than some other signings because of space restrictions on board. So our signing has 4 sessions to it this year, and it's broken down to about 8 to 9 authors per signing. Everybody got a sign-up list for me for the craft sessions and the panels and that, and one of the things you signed up for was a signing arrival slot. They are broken into 3 slots, A, B, and C, which is just basically our way of having people sign up for an arrival time so that not everyone arrives at the same time and we don't all have to stand in line outside the conference room and wait and block up traffic on the ship. So everyone signed up for a slot, which is either slot A, which is the first half hour of each signing session, slot B is the second half an hour, and slot C is the third half an hour. You don't have to leave at the end of your session. It's not a matter of we're kicking you out. It's just an arrival time to stagger the arrivals for that. The signing starts on the morning, I think it's at 9 o'clock in the morning on Thursday, and goes through the day right up until about 5:30 that day in hour-and-a-half blocks, with the authors switching out 9 authors and narrators each hour and a half. Another thing that we do is, because we anticipate that there may be problems with electronic payment options on board, because the internet is that satellite internet I talked about, we provide each reader with what we call Invoice Me Later labels. Those are going to be in your conference packet that's being delivered to your stateroom the first day. It's a sheet of labels that has your name on it and your stateroom number on it, so that you can then use those labels to give to the authors like a ticket to make purchases from them. If you buy 5 books from an author, they're going to write the value of those 5 books on that label, and they're going to put them on their purchase sheet and then give them to me to invoice at the end of the conference. There was some issues invoicing last year because some of them got lost because somebody was a loser about it. But I think I have sorted that this year. Nobody was out anything. Some people got books as gifts from Joel and I last year. But this year I have a more concrete system in place for that. So please, if you want to use those Invoice Me Later labels, please feel free to. Of course, you can also bring cash to buy books at the signing, and some of the authors will be using electronic payments. These are just an option, just in case the other 2 options don't work for you. A side note about this, I said you're going to be getting your conference packet delivered to your stateroom. There are deliveries coming to the stateroom, including the pre-ordered books and all of the swag that our generous authors have donated to everyone in the conference. If your stateroom number changes between yesterday, the labels were printed yesterday for all of these packages, and if it changes anytime after yesterday because of an upgrade or because your room changes because of an issue on the ship, please let me know as soon as possible. The deliveries are all being sent to the staterooms, and if you're not in that stateroom anymore, I have to track it down, hopefully, and figure out where it is. But if I know your stateroom has changed, I should be able to intercept it before then and make sure you get your delivery of either the swag or your pre-ordered books. So if you move rooms, please let me know as soon as you can. Just let me finish up this section first. One PS about the labels. You should have enough labels for all of the authors offering items at the signing, so don't worry about that. We are not allowed to sell anything on board except during the signing in the conference center. I will repeat. We are not allowed to sell anything on board except during the signing in the conference center. Please do not ask authors to buy books from them. Please do not sell anything on board except during the signing in the conference center. It is not allowed. It will get us in serious trouble if we get caught. So all of those sorts of things happen during the signing in the conference center. Okay, questions?
Will you touch on excursions? I guess where they meet, that kind of thing.
They meet. I think I did. I thought I did. Okay, let me.
Okay, he did. D says you did. I was probably writing a question. Okay,
Okay.
so that's done. Sorry.
Also, if you have a celebrity excursion, you're going to get tickets in your stateroom that say where to meet as well. So.
Somebody asked how we are getting from the ship to the butterfly conservatory with my thing. I looked it up just now. I think it's a 20-ish minute walk.
It's only a couple blocks further than the Hemingway house that you did last year.
Yeah, so it's not bad.
20-minute walk.
And I'm gonna try and route us down. I have no sense of direction. Mo will try and route us down Duval Street because you can get there through Duval Street, which is the gay area. So we'll walk through the gay section. I think that is true. I could be lying. Are full-length leggings okay in the dining room?
Full-length leggings should be fine. I mean, I'm assuming they'd be wearing a top with them.
Yes. I should be wearing the tie.
I'm gonna read celebrity's text of the dress code.
Okay. Um, uh, Kashona is asking if we have a conflict with our signing time, can we come at one of the other times? I'm gonna say something before you say something. Um, Rich can disagree with me. I think that is okay if it is you. However, if there are 30 people planning on going somewhere else, and then they all then they all swarm, I don't know how that is, Rich. So address that. Or is it a group versus individual? Are there two answers?
I'm gonna say email me just so I know. Just so I know. I mean, because I mean, I didn't assign signing times to anyone. Everyone chose their signing time. So if you have one and you have a conflict with something else, let me know so that I can be sure that it's not half of the people are going to show up in the last 5 minutes of the signing, just so that I can kind of because it'll just be overrun. So don't listen to Joel. Again, an example of don't listen to Joel. What else, Joel? That's it? Okay. Okay, just a couple fun cruise tips as we start to wrap up. The Joel and I like to bring magnets for our door because the doors all look the same. So it's the doors. Some people don't know this till they get on the cruise ship. The doors are metal and they take magnets. Celebrity allows you to use magnets on the door. They ask that you please don't use tape on the door because it can damage the paint. But you can use magnets on your door. We just put some fun magnets up there so that we can easily tell what our door is. Excuse me, I have a hiccup. On board, you can always find some place to decompress. or to read or to hang out or to write, journal, whatever you want to do. The lounges on decks 3 to 5 are usually pretty empty during the day. The upper decks are usually pretty empty in the evening. For those of you that are my friends on Facebook, you might see when I cruise, I usually post a picture of myself somewhere alone on board because so many people say to me, I don't want to cruise because it's just so crowded all the time. And the thing is you can always find places to be by yourself. So there's always a place to find to curl up with a book in a corner. The Conference Center and Celebrity Central are both on deck 4. A lot of our events happen there in the Conference Center and at Celebrity Central. They're both on deck 4, accessible via the forward elevators. They're both right outside the main theater, pretty much. So that's a good place to know about. And like I said earlier, the elevators can be a little crazy on boarding day. Usually they're a bit more calm than that. Now, the dress now, because people worry about the dress code so much, I just read the dress code as it is on the celebrity website. Now, what celebrity says is during the day, in warmer climates, you want to pack swimsuits and cover ups, walking shorts and shirts that protect you from the sun, lightweight slacks, skirts or sundresses, and a light sweater or a jacket. Hats and sunglasses and sunscreen are always encouraged. Please consider appropriate shoes and gear for excursions you've planned and the terrain you're going to encounter. For instance, you may pack water shoes if you're going to be hiking through the water or a waterfall, or a headscarf or conservative dress if you're visiting any museums or mosques or temples and churches. Now, we don't have those things on our particular cruise, but that's what they say. Shipboard. Throughout the ship, you casual resort wear with sundresses, shorts, polos, t-shirts. These are all appropriate during the day with sandals, sneakers, loafers, whatever you want to wear for shoes. And you can bring activewear and gym clothes if you want to go to the gym. Poolside, of course, bathing suits, t-shirts, tank tops, hats, sunglasses, all are welcome. If you're going into the dining area, they ask that you have a cover up for your bathing suit, so you're not just walking through the dining area in a wet bathing suit if you're going to the Ocean View Cafe or what during the day. In the main and in specialty dining in the evening, they ask that guests refrain from wearing swimsuits or see-through cover-ups or robes or barefoot or tank tops or t-shirts or baseball caps and that sort of thing. In the evening, they call it smart casual. And smart casual attire, they say, is required for entry to the main dining room, specialty dining, and the theater. Smart casual means you look comfortable yet tasteful in a dress, skirt, long pants, or jeans, and a stylish top or button down. Shorts and flip-flops and tank tops are not considered smart casual. So really the restriction is shorts, flip-flops. Now I know last year we worried about flip-flops. We're not talking sandals. We're talking plastic flip-flops that are $1.99 at CVS. And that those are not considered smart casual. Now the theme nights were good. We're good to wear our theme night stuff to dinner, but please no shorts. We can't wear shorts even during theme nights. Okay. Last things to wrap up, and we're only at an hour and 23 minutes right now. So last things to wrap up. You can let me know by Friday, please, if you need a CPAP machine for your room. We'll get that set up with the water and your cord for it. If you need a medical fridge or a sharps container for your room, please let me know. We'll get that set up. If you need wheelchair assistance boarding the ship, Celebrity provides that complimentary. Someone with a wheelchair will help you get through the terminal, so you don't have to stand in line if that's something that is difficult for you to do. If you need to rent a wheelchair or a scooter for the cruise, please let me know and we'll get that arranged. The companies will deliver them right to your stateroom so that they're there for the cruise. There are a small number of wheelchairs on board, but they should not be expected to be available to use throughout the cruise. They are there more to help people get on and off of the ship, and you don't know if one will ever be available beyond that. Please let me know also if you need to reserve the bus with Celebrity back to the airport after the cruise. And please let me know if you need to still purchase travel protection or medical insurance for traveling if you want to get a plan for that still. All of these things you can shoot me an email tonight, tomorrow, or the next day, and we'll get them all sorted for you. And that is all I have. What other questions do we have?
You did. Disembarkation, what's the general schedule process?
Disembarkation's all in the morning on Friday. The ship arrives back in port at about 7 o'clock, and usually they're ready to start disembarking between 7:30 and 8 o'clock. There are two things you can do. You can either carry off your own luggage. And at that, if you decide to do that, you can leave at any time once they start letting people off the ship. Or you can check your luggage to disembark. If you do that, you're going to get a letter in your state. Everyone is going to get a letter in your stateroom with some luggage tags on Wednesday night. And it will explain to you in the letter what time you can expect to get off of the ship if you choose to check your luggage.
Are tank tops or sleeveless dresses okay?
Tank tops are on ladies, a tank top that is not like a not like a something that says fuck the world or something like that is okay on ladies for the evening in the dining room. Sleeveless dresses are fine.
Opus dining room dinner, are nice sneakers okay?
That's fine. I wear nice sneakers.
Does the Embassy Suites have a shuttle from the airport?
The Embassy Suites does have a shuttle from the airport. If you go to the Rainbow Readers website, there is under cruise info, there is a link for hotel suggestions, and there's a phone number there. Call the Embassy Suites, and you can set up the shuttle from the airport to the Embassy Suites. I believe it's something like $16 or $17 for that. You do it through the concierge at the Embassy Suites, but the information's there on the website. Or you can just Google Embassy Suites Fort Lauderdale 17th Street and get their phone number and call them and set that up. Honestly, last year people determined that it was around the same price to take an Uber from the airport than to use the hotel shuttle.
Does the bus to the ship from the hotel include bus back to the hotel?
No. The bus from the hotel to the ship is a bus that I have rented to take us to the ship. It does not include back to the hotel. If you're going back to the hotel afterwards, you'll have to take an Uber there.
This is a good question. We are not boarding until 1:30. Is that going to be a problem? That's the time Celebrity assigned us.
It shouldn't be a problem. If you come with us on the bus, it won't be a problem. If you were to arrive at say 10:30 by yourself, they might make you wait a little bit, but in general, the boarding times are not as strict as they were at all. They came about during when things started opening back up after COVID to try to scatter people arriving so people weren't waiting in lines at all. But we've never had to wait to board at Terminal 25, so I wouldn't worry about it.
Oh, sweet.
You can arrive earlier or you can arrive on the bus.
That is it.
That's it?
Yes.
Guys, you're too easy for me. Let me see. Let me look and see who's here. I don't even know who's here. I'm going to change my gallery. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm really excited, and Joel's really excited, and please send me those emails. And if you do need any of this stuff or help with anything, this is what my week is this week, is making sure everyone's good to get on board, and that we're all set for all of that. I can say there's some fantastic pre-orders and some fantastic swag coming your way. It is all currently in my dining room and going to the shipping company tomorrow and Tuesday to get them on board. And we're very, very excited to have a second year of it. So anything else from you, Joel? No?
I can't wait. See everybody soon.
More last
Yay!
questions?
Oh, does tip prepay go according to person? Does tip prepay go according to room or person? With what?
Person.
Okay.
So the board gratuities are by the person. So if you're sharing a room, if you are sharing a room with somebody else, you can prepay the separately. That's not a problem at all. Just let me know that. And if you're sharing a room with somebody else and the tips are charged on board, they should be charged to the particular person if you put two different cards down on the account.
Yes.
So thank you all so much. Please reach out to me with any questions this week, and I will see you all on either Sunday night at the Embassy Suites or Monday on the ship. So thank you so much, everybody. Have a great night.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, guys. See you.